Ken Hall is here, and not only is he one of the area's top chefs, he also is a dad, a busy guy who, you know, I think like the rest of us, one of our biggest challenges, or one of mine, is trying to get dinner on the table on those crazy busy weeknights, you know?
Absolutely. We've got kids going in every direction,
yes.
spouses going in every
yes.
direction. You just kind of
yes.
cross and say hi, and out the door you go.
Right. Mom's taxi over here. So I love doing twofers, where basically you're going to make a big batch of chili, and then you can turn whatever you're making, whether it be chili or chicken or something, into 1 or 2 different recipes later in the week. That's a great kind of time saver. It's a great way to use up leftovers, things like that.
Absolutely.
So tell us about this recipe.
Well, when you bake potatoes, as I discovered earlier, they explode in the oven.
Sometimes
Never
they
knew
do.
that was possible, but they actually explode in the oven, so you always bake extra.
Well, you know, we actually had an exploding baked potato, and Ken and I have never seen that before, so it's a good thing we baked a few extra. Seriously, it was a first. But I think that is, you know, seriously, when you're baking potatoes, I never think about baking a couple extra. I think about making a couple extra chicken breasts, but I don't think about doing a couple extra potatoes. But this is a great one. Right,
and in the restaurant, what I can do with these is I can fry them. I can cut them up into cubes and fry them and toss them with a multitude of different seasonings, and now all of a sudden you get that nice crispy home fry. You can cut them up. If you like me, I like hash.
Oh, I do too.
I love good fresh beef hash in the morning, and so these fry up great because they're already baked.
So baked potatoes take a long time. They take 45 minutes to an hour. So you know, if you don't want to go through the hassle, bake 6, 8 of them. Have them the first night with your roast chicken or your pork chops, and then later in the week, turn them into chili and cheese potato skins. So yeah, yum.
Yep.
Makes me happy just thinking about it, because I grew up with potato skins. I remember when TGI Fridays first opened way back in the day. I mean, I'm dating myself, and one of the appetizers was potato skins, and people were crazy over them. Now you don't see them a ton.
Well, you don't see them as much anymore. Now what they've done is they've gone into different peelings. So they'll, like, one of the dishes we do is we do a spiral potato. Ooh. So we cut the whole thing into a spiral and fry it, and then we do it the same topping. A lot of people are just taking the peelings when they peel down the potato, and then they fry those and top those with your cheese and bacon and all of these type of things.
Sure.
And so I was looking around because you called and said, hey, we want to do a show, and we want to do something with, let's mix it up a little bit. How can we get quicker food to the table for the family and mix it up? So this was one of the things I was looking through, and I'm like, well, we made chili a couple of days ago, so we've got some leftover chili. So we decided we'd heat up the chili. We've got some leftover baked potatoes. So what I like to do with the potatoes, though, is I like to, I mean, if I was doing it just for myself and my wife, I would just do one a piece and leave them like this. But since we're going to do them for the family, or say you want to do them as party skins. That's
like
what I'm calling it, as an appetizer, and set them out.
Yeah. And can you take these in cold right out of the fridge? Because I'm
absolutely.
Okay, that's how
absolutely.
Okay, all right.
And so what I like to do is I like to cut them down into quarters. Now, I like soups. So what I like to do is I like to save this filling, and then I use the filling for soup. So that way you're again, there's another use for it, and you can throw together your potato soup with some leftover.
An omelet or frittata. There's so many things you can do with that hollowed out. But we're basically creating a little cavity, a little space to put our fillings.
So all I want to do is I want to leave a little on the side so they don't cave in on the side.
Okay.
And then what I've got in front of me is I've got a little bit of Cajun seasoning because, again, I like something with a little spice.
So right now these potatoes are pretty boring.
Right, they're pretty bland at this point. There's no real seasoning. All I do when I bake my potatoes, I guess I'll go back in reverse, is I wash them, make sure they're good and clean, and then what I do is I rub a little oil on them, and I throw them in the oven. And it takes about 45 minutes or so in the oven, and you get it helps get that crisp again on there, so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on a baking sheet, and I want to get these baking, and then we'll go into the topping. We'll just kind of spread these out on our sheet. We'll get this out of our way.
We're actually running out of time, Ken, so let's pretend that these were, again, rebaked to kind of bring them back to life a little bit. So we crisp them up just a little bit. Now, our season, do we season them now with the...
Yep, we take a little of the Cajun seasoning here, and we put a little Cajun seasoning on them, and then we start spooning a little chili into them.
Okay. And these are going to be messy. I mean, this is what these are all about. It's kind of like messy finger food. That's what makes them fun.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to come back over, and again, this 3-cheese blend is provolone, cheddar, and pepper jack. You can kind of create your own little blend that you would like.
Okay, we're going to pop these into the oven quick just to melt the cheese and heat the chili and heat the potatoes. When we come back, we'll finish these off with a couple extra special touches. So stay with us. We'll be right back.